Thank you. Now may I turn to Admiral Canada to say a few words after he make such a long and extensive presentation.
Thank you. He told me that I mastered the talk but in English. So I'm very, very poor English speaker, but I'll try to explain it. First of all, I'm going to the 3 points. The first one is Japan-U.S. Defense Security Defense Cooperation Guideline, which I told you. And you may very much interested how the Japanese government say that in the guideline. Fortunately, now in the Japan-U.S. authority, defense authority, are now making a very effort to make up the intermittent report on the middle of October. So when that, I'm not sure, but what kind of sentences would be included in that report. But you can see how the Japan and the U.S. Thinking to new Japan-U.S. defense guideline, which must be incorporating some sense of so, for instance, collectives limited and passive, but even the exercise of collective self-defense right, maybe including including the Taiwan in some specific sentences. The second one is the South China Sea issue. I had no chance to talk about how I'm thinking about I request the Taiwan to explain the so-called 11-dash line. What is legislative legitimacy or historical legitimacy and so on, which was issued by ROC Navy in 1947. But it must be the turning point, become a turning point that China unlawfully insisted that 11-dash line. So please read my article in your book, okay, in which I'm deeply told what I should say in that case. So please read it. The final one is Mr. Lee said we are now in the time that the changing the security environment drastically in the Asia-Pacific region. That is correct. I think it is a good summary. So when you look at the Japanese side, Mr. Abe, as a Prime Minister of Japan, he made a history, I think. He made a JNSC in last year. He made the first national security strategy last year. And he made a National Defense Program Guideline and the Midterm Defense Program Guideline in last year. Then he made up the cabinet decision for changing the changing of the viewpoints of government on the exercise of collective self-defense right. And by the end of this year, he will change with the U.S. on Japan-U.S. Defense Cooperation Guideline. So that is quite, okay, the good things for me and the good things for you too, I think, I believe. So this is a very epoch-making issue and maybe the very, very first issue, first matter, first happenings of in the security matter after the World War II. So very, very impressive moment when we are now facing. And not only Japan, but also the security of the Taiwan and around the Taiwan. So I have two comments to the speakers who explained the last session and this session. For Professor Carr, Mr. Carr, first presenter, he said the very good corrective, what you say, very the good things, for instance, the search and rescue, that kind of things must be done in the first moment of the Japan-US concrete cooperation activities. Yes, I believe so. But between the Japan Navy and the Taiwanese Navy, or Japan's Air Force and the Taiwanese Air Force, it would be not good timing. So, but we have, you have, for instance, government-owned the authority, such as Japan's case, Japan's Coast Guard, and you may have. So, search and rescue between the two such governmental authority would be the good for the device for implementing the first case of Japan-US security cooperation, not the defense, but the security cooperation. And to Mr. Professor Law, the vision. Okay, vision is it must be upside of the strategy. Yes, I understand. So as you already read the Japanese National Security Strategy, which was issued on the 17th December last year by JNSC, led by Prime Minister Abe. This is also the which called cabinet decision. I wrote that's a paper. I expect to be asked by the professor, excellent professor. So before talking about the strategy in this paper, the Japanese government said the three things. It is not directly the vision which you said, but it is a kind of vision, I think, which the Japanese government think. This is the first one, is a philosophy of Japan in the national security as one of the basic philosophy. Second one is the national interest of Japan. And third one is goal or objectives of the national security. Those three are the upside of the national security. So please, if you have another chance to read it, so please take it. And last one, Mr. Lee, Professor Lee, I was very much impressed that he said this is a new era of the Asia-Pacific region. That is also impressive for me. Yes, that is correct. So we need to change, or we need to fit our brain to think about those kind of things. So that is all what I say. And the last one, Mr. Chang. Okay, he is president of Taiwan company, and I was very much impressed for the very patriotic and but logical manner. But I have one question. You said the Chinese nation, 中華民族 in Japanese, 中華民族. Okay, the nation, Chinese nation in English, I think. So yes, the China think about that, but the Taiwanese would think that the Taiwan is Chinese, one of the Chinese nation. Okay, okay, I understand. just my question, right? Okay, thank you very much.